What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dr. Splash. Happy Thanksgiving to those that celebrate. And if you don't, you should still be happy because I'm dropping a bunch of content today, okay? To show I'm thankful for my subs, to get some sponsored videos out the way, and to get some regular updated videos like this one. Now, KO's crazy. I covered issue 1 when I had dropped it. Let me know if you want me to double back and cover Night Fight that dropped, so that we cover everything within the KO event. Essentially, I want to know if you guys want me to cover everything in KO. So let me know in the comments and let me know with that like button, okay? Also, subscribe, because when I hit 100k subs, I'm giving away all my scaling for free, okay? Right now, you have to purchase a lot of my scaling because it took thousands of hours of work, but at 100k subs, fuck it. Everybody gets it for free, okay? It's for Yancey Street, so definitely run it up. Now, back on topic. KO, this is peak, okay? Like, it's just a fucking fun event. Granted, we still got a long way to go, but it's sick so far, okay? Now, we go back and forth kind of like in issue 1 between the game night before this all started, where Diana, Bruce, and Clark were all playing, okay? And as they're playing, one of the things they're doing is they're playing a game of what if, right? Like, if you weren't Batman, if you weren't Superman, if you weren't Wonder Woman, what would you be? And Clark, Bruce immediately struggle with this, right? They just can't conceptualize not being themselves. It's just what they are. He can't perceive not being Batman. He can't perceive not being Superman. It is what it is. That's who they are. But Diana starts it off. She's like, I would be a tour guide. That's the shit I'm into. And they suggest for Clark and Bruce that Batman would instead be a doctor and that Superman would be president, okay? But they're kind of struggling with the idea of being something they are not. We then flash forward to the next round. The champions from issue 1 have moved forward with absolutely zero rest, okay? They're now fighting in this insanely sophisticated, like, Eldritch battlefield that can contain beings like them and allow them to battle at this magnitude, as they all got to rob each other, right? Like, that's essentially the premise they're given. They're told by the Omega Heart, the Omega Sanction, that look, as this game, you guys got to understand Darkseid is the one you're going against and ultimately trying to surpass. But Darkseid became the GOAT by robbing people. Like, Darkseid was getting the licks, okay? He was in the trenches. So y'all got to get in the trenches. Instead, you're not robbing the Elder Gods like Darkseid did, because this battlefield is a graveyard of Elder Gods that he put on a t-shirt, right? They're like, no, you got to slime each other out. You got to slime the other champions out. 16 of the strongest items from the DC universe litter this graveyard of Elder Gods, okay? So everywhere spread throughout are the different items that you are trying to collect. Things like Blue Beetle Scarab, which, if you remember, I interviewed the Blue Beetle writer, and he's like, it's one of the strongest items in the universe. Some of you laughed. It ain't funny no more, okay? Blue Scarab's there. Shout out the power rings. We see things like the Mother Box. Those make sense to me. Like, I see those, I'm like, okay. Speed Force Ring, definitely. Like, those make sense. Then you see something like Bane's Venom Toxin, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would never put Bane's Venom Toxic in that top 16 discussion for universal weapons. Like, that's disgusting. I'm not quite sure why that's a thing. But there's 32 champions, okay? So do the math. 16 items mean half will be killed if they don't get an item. Essentially, when all 16 items are finally held, the round ends, okay? It's stated that those who move the most like Darkseid in this round will be the most rewarded. So keep that in mind. Now, immediately the game begins. Certain characters are moving different because they have ways of detecting where items are. Like, Cyborg inherently can tell where the Mother Box is because of his powers. But Lex, this is big money Lex, okay? You got me fucked up. Peanut butter and fucked up, okay? That's big Lex. He's prepared for this game. So he built essentially the most sophisticated power detection system you could make. And he's immediately going for the power rings. Like, that's what he wants. Superman starts this round by saying, fuck the villains. Like, Superman actually starts out on some hater shit. He's like, yo, To begin this round, I'm just going to fly around and beat the shit out of villains. But specifically, I'm going to beat the shit out of Lex. Because fuck Lex Luthor, okay? It's real smoke. It's real beef, okay? And we are here for the real beef. You guys know I literally used to make the beef videos, okay? Those are some of my favorite videos. If y'all want to see that series return, let me know. Because that series was funny as fuck. For me, at least. Now, Wonder Woman and Etrigan getting... By the way, spoiler alert, issue 2 is nothing but fades, okay? So you're going to hear me run through like 50 battles in this fucking comic. Let me know in the comments what your favorite scrap from this issue was. Because I'm not joking. There's a ton of scraps in just this comic alone. And it's crazy because someone had commented that nothing happens in DCKO issue 2 or Infernal Hulk. You can see it pinned on my Infernal Hulk video. Wild statement. Big as fucking true. Holy shit. Like, there's a bunch. There's nothing but action. Like, that's wild. But anyways, Wonder Woman gets into it with Etrigan. They're scrapping for Adam's belt that lets you manipulate size. Wonder Woman gets put over. We've been bitching about Wonder Woman hasn't been that saucy recently, okay? I've been speaking on it. I'm like, yo, I don't think she's moving like Flash is, like Aquaman is, like Superman is these days, okay? I've been vocal about that shit. She gets put over here. Gets the drop on Etrigan, right? I ain't even mad at her. You know, shout out to Homegirl for getting the drop on Etrigan. But then we see Giganta show up. Who gives a fuck about Giganta? Go look at the views on my recent Giganta video. But jokes aside, like, shout out Giganta. I did recently make a video on her. She's actually a pretty interesting character. She's just not used much. But she's trying to aura farm on Diana, and she's like, yo, I'm way bigger than you, Diana. So imagine what's going to happen when I get that belt. And then someone's aura farming behind her, okay? Talk about putting people over. It's about to go down. Joker got the Atom belt. And he's talking crazy. He's like, yo, you can't give someone like me this power because I will go stupid with it. And Giganta's like, yo, Joker, real talk. Like, chill the fuck out. You said we were teaming up. And he's like, yeah, you right. I forgot about that. Then he steps on her. Puts her on a t-shirt. Does not care about Giganta. He's like, I don't need this bitch. And he starts eating other champions. Literally picking them up and throwing them in his mouth. Joker is not playing around in this issue, okay? He's going stupid. Now we pan over to Plastic Man fighting Metamorpho. And Plastic Man's being retarded, okay? But that's why we love him. Love and hate him. This is the life you choose when you're a Plastic Man fan, okay? This is what we got to accept about him. He's talking crazy to Metamorpho. He's like, yo, bitch, I made myself super plastic before this. He's like, I created a new compound, and this is how it works, and you can't melt it. Nothing can melt it. It's too much for you. Like, I've super amped myself. GG. And Metamorpho is like, hey, retard, you just told me how you made it. I'm going to cook you with literally the inverse. And cooks him. Just cooks Plastic Man. Cooks Plastic Man. And it's like, I'm getting the God Killer sword. GG. But at that moment, Jay Garrick hits the lick. Running off with the God Killer sword. All right? We then panned over to Guy Gardner finding the Speed Force ring. Which is smart. Like, oh my God, you give Guy a Speed Force ring on top of his Green Lantern ring? Nasty. But he gets slimed out by Harley. Y'all keep bitching about plot armor. Y'all talk about Punisher's plot armor, Kingpin's, all that shit. Harley Quinn? Holy shit. She gets put over, grabs the Speed Force ring, okay? Like, absolutely unbelievable. Diabolical. At this moment, my fists were clenched. I was like, no shot they're using Guy to put over Harley. It hurts, okay? You were not outside when I had to see them use Midnighter to put over Harley. That was fucking terrible, okay? I'm traumatized. We then pan back to Lex Luthor versus Superman, right? Lex thanks Supes for putting him in the Phantom Zone, because as you recall before this issue, they had put the villains in the Phantom Zone in hopes of keeping them out of the tournament. He thanks him for doing that, and he was like, yo, when I was in there, I had an epiphany, bitch. Cost me 15 at Tiffany's. Bars, if you know, no. All right, but listen, he's talking crazy right now. This is one of my favorite Luthor moments ever, okay? DCKO is actually giving us a super fire Lex Luthor. He's like, look, I had this epiphany, and I thought about why I hate you, right? I've always thought I hated you because you do too much. You're always doing too much, getting in the way, trying to be that big blue Boy Scout, and you end up holding back humanity. And he's like, but you know what? Superman, that's not why I hate you. I hate you because you do too little. And he reveals he has an insane bag of kryptonite that just has Soup's done for right now. Like, he literally has every kryptonite ever. So he's like, I can life drain you, power drain you, solar drain you, like whatever I want to do to you right now, you're cooked. I have all the kryptonite. Okay, so I'm just going to talk my shit and you're listening. You do too little. I don't hate you because you do too much. You do too little. If I was you, if I had your power, the game's different. You are a letdown. And you know what? He kind of cooked. Let me know if Lex is right. Is Lex right? If you give him the power of Superman, everything would be better on Earth. Everything would be better because he would not let shit slide. Let me know if you agree with Lex Luthor. It's kind of like that Dr. Doom problem where, hey, he might be technically an evil ruler, but as people love him, there's no crime, there's no peace. Children go to bed safe and happy. They all are fed. So it's an interesting debate, right? But he says, yeah, thank you for putting me in the Phantom Zone. Now let me show you what I did with that, right? Cuts off the hand of Superman. And he had turned the Phantom Zone into an actual blade. Shit is getting real. Superman just got delimbed, okay? This tournament is not for the weak. Lex is giving his monologue, right? He's going stupid on the mic. And he goes, deep down, I was just like everybody else. We, in our times of need, we pray for Superman to save us. And he's like, you know what? Even on my biggest day as your hater, I was praying just like everybody else. I had hope just like everybody else. But this tournament, before we started, it shows us what life would be like if we won. And in my reality, everybody's good. If I win, everybody's good. Because ultimately, that's the play. Humanity being peak. If you win, you're going to try to make everything back to what it was, where shit's fucked up. And that's the difference between me and you. And that's what makes you a coward. And he has shot up Superman with kryptonite at this point, and he has just left him to watch as he cooks, okay? He's like, bear witness, Supes, I'm in my bag. Guy loses out on another weapon. And this is funny as shit. I was shaking at this point. I'm like, yeah, it's rough being a Guy fan right now. He gets slimed out for another weapon. He's like, the plot's just not in my favor, baby. Like, the bag is not for me at this point. It's looking rough. Swamp Thing and Etrigan begin battling for the God Killer sword. And then Lobo gets into it with Starro over the Venom Toxin. And again, I don't think the Venom Toxin's that saucy. I don't know why it's here, but it's here. And he gets it and he starts fighting Starro, tears him apart. He's like, yo, I'm the main man. Get up off me. But Starro's talking shit. Starro's funny as fuck in this issue. He's like, yo, Lobo, you forgot the big thing about Starro. I regenerate, idiot. He created a bunch of Starros and starts dispersing across the battlefield, taking control of key heroes like Power Girl, Jay Garrick, Firestorm, and Wonder Woman. He sends Power Girl to fade Supergirl, okay? He's trying to stop her from getting an item. He then sends Firestorm to fight Aquaman, and Aquaman says, oh my god, you sent a jobber to fight me. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Aquaman is not scared. He's more than happy to be in the pocket. By the way, guys, it seems like my channel got shouted out by Kid Flash in a recent comic. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about, and let me know if you want me to cover it, because that shit was funny as fuck. And then we see Jay Garrick get sent to stop Cyborg from getting his bag, and then Wonder Woman pulls up on Zatanna for Starro. And Zatanna has to manipulate her, right? Because Starro's like, yo, Cosmic Starfish, we're immune to magic. And she's like, okay, sick, but I'm still going to try to get through to Diana. And she actually gets Diana, despite her being controlled, to pick up Thor's hammer that was right at her feet. And when the hammer is picked up, which the hammer is ugly as fuck in DC, but when the hammer is picked up, it disperses Starro, right? Like she's no longer controlled by Starro. We see Guy Gardner again lose out on another item as Red Hood picks up the Scarab and is in contention to try to put Joker on a t-shirt. As Joker's laughing, he's like, man, I got everybody pissed off. Y'all want to kill me so bad. It's hilarious. And they're trying to fade him as he disappears, and everybody's like, yo, where the fuck did Joker go? And Joker had shrunk and was going in brains, literally tearing people's brains apart with the Atom Belt. We then see Vixen and King Shark square up for the 1v1. And Vixen's like, yo, you should run. I have the power of all the animals. And King Shark's like, yo, I don't care because the shark's the big dog. Which is funny. And then Vixen's like, no, it's not. Like, the oceans, like the dinosaur islands, those fish were way bigger. So she starts immediately running hands with King Shark. Joker, like I said, was sliming out brains. And Zatanna in this moment clutches the God Sword as she's like, everybody lock in. We can't let the Legion of Doom get to any of these prizes. Star Sapphire at this point, who, if you don't know, she's like the Lantern leader of love. She pulls up on Lex. She's like, yo, this is for Superman. Hits him with the Fortress of Solitude. Like, it just hits him with a massive construct. And is like, yeah, I did it out of love. Let me get these power rings. But it's never that simple, especially when you're a jobber like Star Sapphire. She did get to the power rings, but she did not get to all of the power rings. And she starts going back and forth with Lex, who's like, yo, bitch, I got the black ring. It's GG's. And Star Sapphire is like, okay, that's sick, but I got all the other rings. So why would I care if you got the Black Lantern ring? Most importantly, that's the Lantern of Death. Nobody's dead here. Like, we're all scrapping. So what are you talking about? There's, like, really no one for you to bring back that I would care about. And Lex just looks at this dumb bitch and he's like, are you sure? Are you positive I can't get in my bag? Raises his hand up, and of course, she's so fucking stupid. The Elder Gods. This is a graveyard of Elder Gods. Of course there's dead to summon. Lex starts summoning the Elder Gods as his army, the undead Elder Gods, okay? Keep in mind, these are the Elder Gods that help Darkseid reach this point of power, okay? They're strong as shit. That 4D chess by Lex, okay? Just big moves. Superman, at this point, can sense the end of the game is approaching, or the end of this round at least, right? Everybody to a degree can sense big moves are being made, but Superman in particular, he's like, shit, I can feel it in my McNuggets, right? Like, it's getting a little real in the hood. Supergirl at this point is actually trying to help him. She's like, yo, Superman, take this item so you can take Psycho Pirate's Medusa mask so you can move on to the next round. But then Captain Atom shows up. He's like, fuck you, bitch. Slimes her out for an item, okay? Big Captain Atom, tired of being a jobber. He has to get in the mix, okay? And Superman wants to help, but again, he's been stabbed up by kryptonite. He's in shitty shape, okay? He's been hit with all the flavors of kryptonite. Lex is using the Elder Gods to begin slaughtering the champions, and the art is sick. Like, this is sick. This looks amazing. And the champs are getting butchered. He can sense it. Like, Superman's pissed because as Lex is having the army slaughter the champs, Lex himself is just staring down and laughing at Superman. It's, oh man, real haters. Y'all know I'm a sucker for some real hater shit. We then flash back to game night, okay? And Bruce explains Clark is just as brilliant as him and Diana. But the problem is, he's linear. Clark has this math of being a good guy, and he sticks to that. No matter what, that's what encompasses the moves he makes. Because of that, he's always essentially trying to maximize the good. And Bruce says, I admire it, Superman, and to a degree, you're just as brilliant as me and Diana as a strategist. But you only stick to that math of maximizing good. And sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes you have to engage new math, new ways of thinking, new ideas, because with your brilliance, you could do that. You could win any situation. Ultimately, if you win, you can kind of dictate terms. At that point, everyone's like, yo, Bruce, you're wilding, you're being a nerd, it's supposed to be a fun game night. But he's right. He's like, yo, Superman, like, you're brilliant. Just, you have a one-track mentality, and if you get out of that sometimes, you could actually get more accomplished for your ultimate goal. And then we pan back to the current round, right? Clark, it's time for him to use new math. Batman's the GOAT, even when he's not here. He's got Clark thinking, right? Clark's like, okay, I need to do new math. Now, they had mentioned at the beginning of the round that if you move the most like Darkseid, you will get the most rewarded. There's a mystery item still out there. And Superman goes, Darkseid, to get where he was, which is essentially he's God now, is King Omega, he stole. He gave up everything, but most importantly, he died to transcend. He killed himself to become more. Superman takes the kryptonite and stabs himself through the heart before Lex can crush him with the Elder Gods. And Lex is looking at it, he's like, oh my God, he killed himself. Like, I got that boy to kill himself. Now tell me, who's the real Superman? Because Lex is convinced he's going to be the Superman, the real hero to save the day. And Superman gets back up, just glowing, right? Just looking insane as he says, I'm Superman. Superman is he gained the Omega Sanction. The power of Darkseid was the mystery item. And this power goes to Superman merging with him. And despite the Elder God Army, despite the Black Lantern ring, Lex is helpless. Like Superman's walking him down, shredding the Elder Gods like they're insignificant. And he had Luthor dead to rights. And Superman's going to slime him. Okay, this is the Superman I want. This is Omega Superman? Oh my God. And by the way, it's inevitable you guys are going to ask, how strong is Omega Superman? Can you scale Omega Superman? Relax. Video on the way. Thumbnail already made. It's fire. Trust. Now, before he can put Lex on a t-shirt, my boy Guy finally gets an item. He's like, Jesus, I've been scrapping for an item. I'm getting one. Gets the item finally. Now, the reason this is important is it's because it's the 16th item, which triggers immediately the end of round 2. So he couldn't kill Lex. Lex is like, thank God. I'll see you next round, Superman. Fuck you. And he's out. So here's who is moving on. Here are the 16 champions in this mainline event. Because remember, there's other events going on outside of this particular part of the tournament. But this is like the main battle, right? The main line that people are paying attention to. Now, the 16 are Joker, Etrigan the Demon, Jay Garrick's Flash, Superman, Hawkman, Lobo, Zatanna, Guy Gardner, my goat, Lex Luthor, Harley, Harley keeps getting put over, Red Hood, Aquaman, Big Aqua, Diana, Captain Atom, Jobber making moves, Swamp Thing, and Cyborg. So let me know who your favorite among the 16 that are moving around in the main line. Let me know who your favorite among those 16 are. Now we pan over to the Watchtower where, if you remember, World Forger and crew have been holding off King Darkseid from coming to the main line for a few days so that the tournament could be done to find a champion. And he's hopeful at this point. He's like, yo, I think Superman just got the bag. Like, yo, we have a real shot to win this shit. And Booster Gold says, nah, I don't think you should have any hope because fuck that. And World Forger's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got soft, old man. You got soft, World Forger. You've been hanging around Superman too long. I'm here. And Booster Gold officially confirms he's controlled by Darkseid. He's Darkseid, right? And he says, I'm going to enter the arena. It's time to ball. And just ragdoll. Issue ends with him ragdolling World Forger, laughing, right? Like, that's bad. You know, or not World Forger, I'm sorry, Time Trapper, right? At this point, he's bullying Time Trapper. I said World Forger because him and World Forger were the ones that started this defense. But yeah, just absolutely ragdolls Time Trapper Doomsday. And it's like, yeah, it's time to get the bag. Now, we see the upcoming stories for the KO event. Let me know if you want all of it to be covered. I am happy to do so, especially if this video does well. The first issue did super well. So at this point, I'm assuming you guys do want to see me cover this entire event. So if that's the case, let me know in the comments and I will cover Night Fight as well. But anyways, guys, turn on the notification bell. I will be dropping more content today and a shit ton of content the next 5 days. Make sure, if you're a fan of the channel, to stay tuned, okay? And if you're a member, you're gonna be seeing some of these videos early, which is really great. Also, everything is half off in terms of my video sales, my Battle Core or Battle Pass membership, as well as my scaling servers. So if you want any of those things, hit me up on Discord. It's half off through Sunday, okay? Shout out Black Friday, shout out Thanksgiving. Thankful for Yancey Street, and remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.